Yeah, about the same as the Brooklyn game. We talked about Kyrie was going to, at some point turn it on, and it was a combination of things. Williams was knocking down shots, and they have a number of guys that can, make plays. We just couldn't get enough stops to, play against them in transition. So we're playing against a set defense that's one of the most physical defenses in the league. We only scored 50 points in the second half. But we did have a really good first half. So it just goes to show you how hard it is to win in this league, and how things can change. But I'm proud of the guys, Dario hitting 2 big free throws down the stretch, and, Chris, first game back, playing 38 minutes, man. It's like, we did enough to win, and I'm proud of the guys for that.
It's just the last possession where Cam gets trapped there. Just your assessment of that. Did he do the right thing?
It's hard because in those situations, more than likely, they're not going to call a foul. I mean, you saw enough contact there to call the cops. You know what I mean? It was a lot going on, so it happens. But, yeah, you don't want to be stagnant. You got to move, because if they get the ball, more than likely they will call jump ball. And so he did enough to run the clock out. We actually were trying to get it to Chris in the backcourt so he can dribble it out. And Cam was strong enough with the ball where we didn't, give them a chance to get it and shoot the ball. So I'm just glad we won.
Looking at Dario, you just mentioned him.
Yeah.
The way he played throughout the game. Bigs are going down. Maybe speak to how you
Yeah, I mean, Dario's been, a guy that's been in and out of the rotation. I didn't play him the second half last night because of the speed of the game and what Indiana was doing in transition. But we needed him tonight. He was really good in the paint. And, again, the big free throws at the end, the inbounding of the ball at the end. He's a guy that we, put in a number of spots. And defensively, he wasn't bad tonight. I thought the first half he rebounded the ball really well, and that allowed for us to get out and play in transition. And then we couldn't rebound in the second half because they kept scoring.
It seemed like Chris's body responded really well to the timeout that we
Yeah.
Did you see the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I just played him way too many minutes. I almost got him out mid-fourth quarter, but without Book, we needed somebody to, orchestrate a little bit, and Mikal was a bit winded. I played him the whole fourth, played him the whole second half, actually. So I thought Chris was Chris. I mean, he's a guy that can just manage certain situations. He was knocking down shots in the first half. He had 11 assists. First game back, to pull off that kind of a outcome is important for us, again, especially when you don't have Book out there and campaign to alleviate him with some of the ball handling responsibilities. So kudos to him.
Coach, I know you talked to Mikal about taking those shots late in games. He was struggling a little bit in the second half, but he hit those 2 clutch threes.
It's huge. Yeah, I mean, it's what we want him to do. I mean, I think when we do get Book back, I think teams are going to have to decide, like, normally they put the best defender on Book and the next one on Chris, and so I'm hopeful that Mikal can, take advantage of those situations. But in those moments, when he's open like that, he's got to take those shots and live with the consequences.
Coach, there was, when you look at the close game you guys had
Yeah.
is this, result that even though it got that tight at the end that, okay, you guys are able to win these kind of games? Maybe a couple weeks ago you probably lose maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's against that team, when Ja's playing downhill like that, it's who in the league can stop that? I mean, it's a tough play. So for us to be able to withstand that and get enough stops where we could, run some time off the clock and win the game, I don't think we had that level of stamina and poise a few weeks ago, especially on the road, when we played so many games on the road, missing guys. So it's, again, when you can win close games like that, I think it gives you confidence. And those experiences are ones we can, look at the tape and show our guys what we can do better, what we did well. It just goes back to your corporate knowledge. When you can build that, especially with so many guys playing in different roles, I think it helps you as a team.
How concerning is it for you as a head coach, in a couple blown leads last few games? Do you attribute that to just the game of basketball runs, or maybe the injuries, or how do you look at that?
Well, we won the game, so that's the goal, right? So if everybody could keep a 20 or 30-point lead, they would, but most teams make a run. I'm proud of the guys being able to withstand the moment. And the question was just asked, a few weeks ago, we probably wouldn't have won that game when we had a lead. And so for us to come out with a win, I think that's the positive that you take from it.
Monty, maybe to that point, getting Cam and Chris back,
Yeah.
winning 3 in a row here, does it feel like a little bit of a turn the corner?
I don't want to get happy on the farm about all that stuff. I think, Cam's got to get a rhythm. Last game he came back, he was lighting it up. Tonight he couldn't buy one. That's par for the course when you first get back. I think this group has to play together a bit more. Not to mention we didn't have DA tonight. I think if we have DA, some of the finishing around the basket, and we probably get to the free throw line a bit more just because they were switching a lot, and he typically punishes those types of defenses. So I think once we get everybody playing together, and then, sooner or later we're going to add Book back to the mix, I think it just takes time to get a team rhythm. You got Saban out there playing with D. Lee and Ish, and that group, they've had about that much time together. So I think it's going to take us a minute to find a team rhythm. Once we do, I think we can be pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Monty.